everyone, my name is Mariah. Welcome to my channel, Totally Finds. In today's video, I am going to do a June monthly wrap up and also my July TBR all in one video. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. If my mood kind of changes throughout the video, it's because I'm kind of sad and I don't feel so well today. So yeah, but I really wanted to go ahead and do a video because it's been like 3 weeks maybe. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's start with my books that I read on my Kindle. Total amount of books that I read this month is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 books. So June definitely was probably my lowest month of books read. So if the last video, my sad girl book haul, was an indicator, yeah, it's been a tough month. So yeah, okay. So the first book that I read on my Kindle is Stalked by the Mafia Prince by Emma Bray. I don't know. I feel like Emma Bray is slowly getting into the territory of Lena Little. So as far as age gap, yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember what this book was about, but I gave it a 4 stars, but that's how you rate it on Goodreads. But most likely it was probably a 3.75. I don't remember. I'm not gonna look it up. I mean, it's whatever it is, and I'm moving right along. Next is Save One Thing, Julia Wolf. I gave it 4 stars. If I'm not mistaken, this is like a enemies to lovers college romance, I think. Okay, so let's see real quick. No, it's high school enemies to lovers thing. All right, so yeah, I remember this was kind of sweet. I think I really rated it a 3.75. So the main female character, she's really into sports. I think she does field hockey, and there's this guy named Beckett Savage. He appears that he does not like her at all, but he actually secretly loved her since he met her. But the thing is, how he conveys his emotions looks like he's actually insulting somebody. Well, he doesn't really realize that or not, but yeah. Yeah. It's a enemies to lovers high school romance. What can I tell you? Okay. Trust me, you're going to notice which books that I actually thoroughly enjoyed. I'm going to go into a tangent with those. But anyway, next book I read was Orc's Bait, a monster romance. I gave this 3 stars. This is by Eden Ember. I did not like this one. I think it was the female character. She kind of irritated me. This is the 3rd book in this trilogy. And I didn't read the previous 2 books, but you can get away with reading this without reading the other 2. I did not like the female character. I think it's because she giggled too much for my liking. I don't know. I think the only thing I thought was interesting about her is that she went hiking with her friends and she got abducted by aliens around that part. That's probably the only thing I thought was interesting. No, I lied. The second thing that I thought was interesting is that there are different alien planets with different types of aliens. And there was one particular one I thought was interesting. There are vampire aliens. I think that would be very interesting to read about. They mentioned it in this book. So I don't know. I kind of would want to read it. But anyway, I gave it a 3. I mean, it was fine. I probably would rate it a little lower than that, but I was not in for it. That was just about it. So next one is Recklessly Damaged by Steph Maka. This is the 3rd book in this series. The 4th book should be the last one, and I don't remember when that comes out, but I think it comes out later this year. It's like a stepbrother taboo type of romance, so I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, it's a continuation of that. I gave it a 4, and I only say a 4 because like I'm rating it based on overall. I think it's a good story. Sometimes a little questionable. You know, she is a little questionable sometimes with her decisions, and I just think like she knows full well that she shouldn't be making these decisions, but she does it anyway, kind of thing. And that kind of just, I don't know, that kind of irks me a little bit. I don't know, but for the most part, I do like how they come together after all the drama that they went through in the previous book. So yeah, there is that. The next book is In the Gray by B.B. Reed. I did not realize this is the same author that wrote Lilac. I DNF Lilac, okay, because I mean, it was driving me nuts how she was describing literally almost anything that she tastes as cherries, okay? Like cherries, I started to really hate the word cherry, okay? Because she mentioned it a lot in that book. So I don't know, some things just irk me too much, okay? I gave it a 2. God, I did not like this book, okay? I don't even know what percentage I was in the book before I just, you know, started doing this to the pages so I could hurry up and finish it, because I wasn't going to DNF this book, okay? I already committed a good percentage into this book, and that if I get into a certain point in the book, I'm going to count it as a complete read instead of a DNF, okay? From this point forward, it's going to be considered a read, even though if I technically did not finish it. So yeah, I gave it a 2. I did not like their relationship at all. It was like one of the most toxic relationships I've read, okay? Dude is violent. I did not like the dude at all. And sometimes I liked the female character, but other times I didn't. Like, sometimes she just irritated me. I mean, maybe it's because of her age. I think she's like 19 years old, and he's like in his mid-30s. So it's an age gap. So he's like 35, 36. And I just, like, how are you going to be at this age and still acting like you can get away with everything? Well, technically they can't. But anyway, like, he was just too much for me. I did not like it. And he's one of those hypocrites when it comes to whatever. He's just like, he could do whatever. He could be fuck all whatever. And then if she tries to do something, then, oh, she's a hoe, blah, 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 blah. Like, how could you do this and stuff? Like, okay. All right, calm down. All right. So, yeah, this book was way too long for me to want to invest. I think it was over 400 pages. I don't even remember. I just, so whatever. Okay, let's move on to the physical books that I read. The first one that I read is Lying in the Deep by Deanna Urban. This is my 3rd book by this author. And the book that I like the most is These Deadly Games. That's the one that I really, really like by her. This one is about the main character, Jade. Her boyfriend breaks up with her via text saying that he is going to be in a relationship with her best friend and don't ever talk to them ever again. And he blocks her. And her best friend blocks her as well. Now, some weeks passed after that, and she's so confused. Like, why did he break up with her? This is so left turn. Like, this does not make any sense. And she is spiraling when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, because it doesn't make sense. Like, out of the blue, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, after that, some time has passed. Not a lot of time. And she is going on a ship. She's studying abroad at sea for college credit. So she's going to different countries while she's learning on a ship. And lo and behold, her ex-boyfriend and ex-best friend are on the ship as well. And like I said, she is spiraling, okay? She's like obsessed. Like how could they do this to her? Like, why did they do this to her? She was very close to her best friend. It does not make sense. And she's just so obsessed. She's like following them around. Like she like borderline is like the crazy ex kind of thing, right? And then a murder happens. And then another murder happens. And, people start looking at Jade like, you looking kind of suspicious. You kind of sus, And she's like, no, I didn't do anything. It's like, you were kind of whatever and stuff like that. And she's like, no, it's not me. And she's trying to figure out what happened. So there's that. She's trying to figure out who is the murderer before another body comes up. And there is a subplot of romance, so that's great. So I gave this a 4.5. I really wish she writes epilogues in her books, but I guess it's up to interpretation once it ends. But I really, really wish she had an epilogue for this one and These Deadly Games, because I really wanted to see, well, in the other one too. I forgot the other one. Because sometimes I really want to know, after some time, just an update would be nice, okay? Because, yeah, so that was the reason why I took the score down a little bit. I really enjoyed reading it. I read it pretty fast. I think I finished it in a day, so it was quick for me to read, so there's that. The next one is The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. I don't know how I should rate this book, because I did not hate this book, but I'm hesitant to say that I liked it. So I'm going to be between 3.75 to 4 stars, okay? So the main character, Emily, she moved from Paris, or from France to London, and she was 16, 17 around this time. She moved to London after her father dies, and she befriends this woman named Caroline. She's very kind, and she works at this magazine, and she goes to live and work for Caroline, and they become friends. And then Emily becomes friends with Caroline's friends, and it's really nice. It's like a little found family friendship kind of situation. So she starts to work at the magazine as well, and then she meets this man, and she ends up marrying him. His name is Ned. Interesting enough, on the back, it says his name is Jed. I'm not sure how that typo happened. Well, the N and the J are kind of close on the keyboard. But anyway, somebody should have, checked that first. But anyway, yeah. So what ends up happening is that at the beginning of the book, if I'm not mistaken, she is kidnapped, and along with her husband, and at some point during the abduction, she starts to feel comfortable with her captors, and she doesn't feel the same way with her husband. And then you spend time reading through the book to understand why she feels that way. And everything that happens in this book, basically it happens within a month. And all I gotta say is, oh my gosh, the trauma and the guilt that Emily has, I felt that. Especially the guilt. That shit would eat you up, okay? I really felt empty with that, because I was imagining myself in that situation. I would feel so alone, feel guilty. I don't even know what to do with myself. So that's why I wasn't sure how I would rate this, because even though it made me feel things, it wasn't in a way that I would want to ever reread this book ever again, kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. And the last book that I read for the month of June is Stay Awake by Megan Golden. I'm gonna tell you right now, I recommend this book. It's not a 5 out of 5 for me, but it is pretty close. It's 4.75 out of 5 stars for me. But I do recommend this book. It was a great time, okay? I flew through this book, okay? The time frame in this book, it's about a day and a half, maybe 2 days. And in a way, it felt like it was longer it's crazy to me. It really, a lot can happen in a day. I can tell you that much. But anyway, there is some flashbacks for sure. There is flashbacks, but present, what Liv, the main character, is going through, it's in the span of like a day and a half, 2 days. So main character Liv, she wakes up at the back of a cab. Have no idea how she got back there, right? But the cab is taking her to her apartment. But she doesn't live there anymore because the people that live there have been there for about a year. Meanwhile, she's got a whole bunch of writing on her hands that says, stay awake. In addition, she has a bloody knife in her back pocket. So she is confused. Like, what is happening? Meanwhile, across town, police are at a crime scene and they see this window that says, stay awake. So she may or may not be related to that. So she's trying to figure out what is happening. Why is this happening? Why can't she remember anything? Like, whoa, okay? Like, whoa. And then, then there is like a flashback, okay? There's like, in the past, 2 years prior, she had a thriving career. She had this boyfriend she was in love with. She lived with her best friend. Things were really going forward, really going. But present, she doesn't know where her best friend is. Her boyfriend's not answering her calls. She realized when she goes to work, they say that she has not worked there in 2 years. She's been living in London. She's like, what? I have not been in London. Like, yeah, she is so confused. So you have to figure out what is going on. You're finding things out as you read with her. Like, essentially, you're finding it out along with her, kind of thing. And it was a great time. Now, I'm reading her other book, The Escape Room. I think The Escape Room is her first book. I'm not sure. But the tone in that one is a bit different. And I'm kind of having difficulty getting through that one. I think it's because there's more people to keep track of, and that's kind of irritating me. But yeah, I think it's because I got into a book slump after I read The Prisoner, and I was just not really in the mood for what was going on in the escape room. But I'm slowly trucking along with that one, so hopefully by the end of July I will finish that one. So yeah, now let's get to the TBR of this video. Let me go get the book. Okay, so for my July TBR, it's only going to be one book. I got a lot going on for the next couple of months. I'm going to be moving, so it's not going to be fun having to pack up, my whole apartment and all that, and then figuring out my whole moving situation. But so I'm not really going to stress myself out this month as far as how many books I'm trying to read. But yeah, the only book that I have on my TBR is Under the Dome by Stephen King. I've watched a lot of his movies. I've never read any of his books, so I thought it was weird that I haven't. So that's why I picked this up. This is over 1,000 pages strong, okay? So it's gonna take me a bit to get through this brick, okay? I started reading it, and I'm hoping after I read this, I will watch the show and compare notes. I want to do a video on this and do a reading vlog and stuff. But I've started reading it, and all I gotta say is, oh my God. Man, I'm thinking like it's gonna start off nice and slow, because this is 1,000 pages, okay? I'm thinking it's nice and slow. We get to understand the small town, like, oh yes, it's cute, quaint, and all these old ladies talking about the new young teacher coming to town and apple pie or something like that. No, murder, death. Okay, that's the first 50 pages of this book is death everywhere. Okay, people breaking their necks. Okay, animals, humans, planes, trucks, just crashes, and then there's a murder in between there, which is really graphic, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this. Okay. Oh man. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you for stopping by. So sorry for my absence. I'm hoping I can improve it for this month. Promises. I know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.